All right, let's begin. This was a chant by Paramahansa Yogananda. Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? What a beautiful chant. All right, let's begin. Om ajïäna-timirändhasya jnanāञ्जन-शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं साजिवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरत्विषे नमः. We are in the introduction. And yesterday we stopped at what is consciousness. We are trying to understand 5 things, just a synopsis of it. Ishvara. Gaurav, whenever I take these names, just type it down for Namajia because it becomes easy for her to refer. Ishvara, Prakriti. Ishwar means supreme controller. Prakriti means material nature. Jiva, living entities. Kala, time. And karma. Karma means our activities. Out of all this, the first 4 are going to be always there. The only thing that changes is our karma. All right. Now let's go to our consciousness. We discussed a lot yesterday. Today we'll understand it much more. What is this consciousness? This consciousness is I am. Then what am I? In contaminated consciousness, I am means I am the Lord of all. I survey. I am the enjoyer. The world revolves because every living being thinks that he is the Lord and creator of the material world. Material consciousness has 2 psychic divisions. One is that I am the creator, and the other is that I am enjoyer. But actually, Supreme Lord is both the creator and the enjoyer. And the living entity, being part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, is neither the creator nor the enjoyer, but a cooperator. He is created and he enjoyed. For instance, a part of a machine cooperates with the whole machine. A part of the body cooperates with the whole body. The hands, legs, and eyes and so on are all parts of the body. The legs move. The hands, legs, these are the part of the body, but they are not the actual enjoyers. The stomach is the enjoyer. The legs move, the hands supply food, the teeth chew, and all parts of body are engaged in satisfying the stomach, because the stomach is the principal factor that nourishes the body's organization. Therefore, everything is given to the stomach. One nourishes the tree by watering its root, and one nourishes the body by feeding the stomach. But if the body is to be kept in a healthy state, then the parts of the body must cooperate to feed the stomach. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is the enjoyer and the creator, and we as subordinate living beings are meant to cooperate to satisfy him. This cooperation will actually help us. Just as food taken by the stomach will help all other parts of the body. If the fingers of the hand think that they should take the food themselves instead of giving it to the stomach, then they will be frustrated. The central figure of creation and of enjoyment is the Supreme Lord, and the living entities are cooperators. By cooperation, they enjoy. The relation is also like that of the master and the servant. If the master is fully satisfied, although the tendency to become the creator and the tendency to enjoy the material world are there also in the living entities, because these tendencies are there in the Supreme Lord who has created and manifested the cosmic world. We shall find, therefore, in this Bhagavad Gita, that the complete whole is comprised of the Supreme Controller, the controlled living entities, the cosmic manifestation, the eternal time, and karma or activities. And all of these are explained in this text. All of this taken completely form the complete whole. And the complete whole is called the Supreme Absolute Truth. The complete whole and the complete Absolute Truth are complete personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. All manifestations are due to his energies. He is the complete whole. So, understood? Consciousness. Consciousness means, who am I? There are various levels to consciousness. I explained yesterday also, and I'm going to explain it again. When we reach chapter 2, we will discuss on this chapter more deeply. We always associate ourselves with me, myself, my world. So much of I within us. But who is that I? That has to be addressed. Who am I? And when you start searching like this and you start going backward, where did I come from? Who created me? Even though I think I am enjoying life, I am the creator of everything, I am in control of everything, yet it seems like nothing is in my control. But the illusion is so strong that I feel I can control everything. Who has created this illusion that I feel I am, but I am not in control of anything? I do actions, sometimes knowingly, but most of the time unknowingly. I feel I'm in control of everything. I'm seeing everything. I'm watching everything. But I don't even realize that day by day my hair is graying. I'm getting wrinkles. I'm turning old. I don't even realize. I'm watching over everything. I think I'm in control. But I can't tell my hair also, stop graying. Something else is doing it. How is it happening? Oh, then you look into science. Cells are decaying every day. Material science. Everything is made up of cells. Everything is made up of atoms. From where has this arrangement come then? Everything is made up of 5 elements. And all the 5 elements are made into a big giant ball called Earth. And this big giant ball, giant ball, earthly ball is hanging in space. How is it hanging in space? Oh, it's not only the Earth that is hanging in space. There are so many other planets also hanging in space. This big giant ball of Earth in which I live, I am so insignificant, but I feel my world is so significant. I am so important to the society, but I'm so insignificant. This giant ball of Earth is surrounded by 70% of water. And this giant ball of Earth is rotating around its axis, revolving around the sun. Even after revolving and rotating, the water is not rotating. The water does not leave its limit. The Pacific Ocean is not coming over India. And the Indian Ocean is not going over California. Atlantic is not draining East Coast. This giant ball of Earth is rotating, is revolving, rotating both. Yet, I'm not dropping, I'm not falling off. Things are in their own place. Everything is being managed. Till now, I was thinking I am the controller. But when the vision expands, you start seeing things like this. No. Who is doing it? Who is the one hiding? Wow. So magnificent. So every planet has its own suns, moons. Things are different. Animals, even within the earth, there is so many wondrous things happening. I feel I'm the controller. I can't even control my home properly. I can't even control myself. As I told you, I can't stop the hair from graying. I can't stop old age from coming. I cannot say anything. But yet, how strong is the illusion that I feel I am the enjoyer, I am the controller. And yet you realize that, nothing is in your control. So slowly, when your vision goes on increasing like this and you start understanding, you start questioning, you understand that, okay, everything is in perfect order, not because of me. Everything is in perfect order because of some supreme controller. The weather changes. The weather is changing in a rhythm, in a pattern by itself. I am not the one who can control the weather even. Spring comes, flowers bloom. I can't do that. Somebody else is doing it. And wherever human population has increased, we have only created chaos in those areas in the name of, modernization. But wherever humans have not entered, those areas are still in perfect order, pure, nice. The animals are thriving, surviving. Everything is going the way it has to go without the presence of humans. And humans still think that they are the controllers. So a student of spiritual science, we are all students of spiritual science. Student of spiritual science tries to understand things in this perspective, the whole truth. So the whole truth is, I exist. This material nature exists. And there's a connection between me and this material nature. But me and this material nature also are controlled by a supreme controller. And there is this hidden factor called time. This supreme controller has been forever, and I will also live forever. Things will come, things will go, but these things will remain. So a person who has understood all these 5 things, he can claim that yes, I know the truth. I know the whole truth. I know the absolute truth beyond which there is nothing exists. I have reached, I have crossed all the illusions. I understand. So this is what spiritual science teaches us. In spiritual science, there are two things. One is science, the science which explains, and one is the feelings associated with the science. Both of them have to go together. Both of them. Science without feelings will be very dry. And as humans, we should have both. Spiritual science will address both. When we read Bhagavad Gita, both of these things will go hand in hand. The science, the knowledge, as well as the feelings. The knowledge is called jnana. The feelings will be bhakti. Okay. So as we delve into the chapters, you will know how Krishna is talking. His way of talking is very beautiful. He'll explain everything very nicely, like a jnani and like a Bhagwan. Now, we shall find therefore in Bhagavad Gita that the complete whole, we learned that. Okay, that the complete whole is comprised of the supreme controller, the controlled living entities, the cosmic manifestation, eternal time and karma, and all of this taken together form the complete whole. And Krishna is complete whole. From understanding this truth, who is that supreme controller? You know, when we reach up to that point, okay, I can see this material manifestation. I know time exists. I know I am existing. But all of these four other factors, who has done it so perfectly? When we question like that, we reach to the supreme controller. Many times the supreme controller is unseen. So that is why people come to the conclusion, oh, he is unseen. It is just matter. They just change forms. So he is a superconscious energy. So their realization is up till there. But then there'll be somebody else who'll say, no, how can things be like this? How can matter just keep changing? There is something, some perfection to it. Somebody has thought of it. Wherever there is energy, there is an energetic. Somebody has thought of this whole body. If you look at your own body, you know, when you start meditating and you think of your own body, my God, what perfection. So many nerves in our body, in our brain. So many veins, so many arteries, supplying everything everywhere. You take the food, you don't even know what body parts you have inside, unless you're a doctor or, you know. But everything, you're just learning, you're just discovering. But every human being has been made so perfect. Their sensory organs, their nerves are so perfect for their place where they have to adapt. A polar bear is naturally given such a thick furry skin to adapt. Trees in the snowy areas, those pine trees, they have so much of heat inside. Everything nature has done so supremely well. How is it possible that there's no thinker beyond it? Somebody has thought, somebody has done, and the doing is so perfect that he can very easily mask himself. Whoever has masked himself, that person we call him as Krishna. Now Raris is asking, Jai Guru Ma, Jai Shri Krishna, does sometimes Ishvara chooses to cover his own eyes with Maya for the sake of Lila? Yes. Some say Vishnu, when he incarnated as Rama, has chosen to forget he was an avatar. Yes. For the Lila to be real. Yes. Is this self-inducing forgetfulness of the divine a real thing? Yes. Or is it must be? No, it is like that. That would mean sometimes Ishvara chooses to use Prakriti as a wheel. Yes. You know, it not only Ishvara, Maya is such a beautiful gift of God. Very beautiful gift of God. You know why? Ramakrishna Paramahansa, he was a realized being, always conscious. And when you're a realized being and you're conscious, you know, in the beginning, you see consciousness everywhere. You are seeing everything alive. filled. Even the non-living entities that you see are filled with consciousness when the realization happens. The mountains are filled with consciousness. The trees are filled with consciousness. For living entities, of course, we are filled with consciousness. So when Ramakrishna, he wanted to, in later stages, as his consciousness was like all the time he was in that zone. So whenever he went to pick up flowers for Ma Kali, he could not pick it up. He could not pluck the flowers from the trees. He stopped. He said, no, I can't pluck. To that same Kali Ma, they offer bali, they offer animal sacrifice. Look at that consciousness where they are giving animal sacrifice to Ma Kali, and look at this consciousness of this devotee of Ma Kali who says, I can't pluck the flower because the flower is conscious living being. I can't, sorry. He had to pray to Ma to help him be a little saner. At least let him offer his love through the flowers. So that is a time when Maya comes in picture and helps the devotee who starts becoming suddenly conscious of everything. Maya comes and Maya stops certain things, veils it. Certain forgetfulness is given. Certain forgetfulness is a blessing in disguise. And to all of us, those who are spiritually awakened, it is a blessing like this. As I told you, I give the example of Ramakrishna Paramahansa. And people who are not spiritually awakened, Maya, that forgetfulness is necessary, because if you don't forget, say if you're living with your kid, you see your kid, just newly born kid, and the newly born kid, and you remember, oh, this kid is my enemy of the past. I killed him, now he can kill me. If that remembrance comes to you, gone. You start seeing everybody as your enemy or a friend from the past. That remembrance will be so troublemaker. So that is why Maya plays this role. Maya is a beautiful gift from God given to us. And if we use it wisely, we can enjoy this world very beautifully, because this is God's world. And the same Maya, when you are going towards God, the same Maya is helping you, fulfilling all your desires, all your needs, and it will take you to her own master, Lord Shri Krishna. So this is, they play very well, brother and sister. Gaurav is writing, incredibly powerful. I didn't know this incident about Shri Krishna. Yeah. All right, good. Such questions come, then such incidents occur. they come in picture. All right, let's get ahead. It is also explained in the Gita that the impersonal Brahman is also subordinate to the supreme person. Brahmano hi pratisthaham. Brahman is more explicitly explained in the Brahma Sutra to be like the rays of the sunshine. Now, hear these examples properly. So there is sun, there is sun rays, and there is sun planet itself. So the sun rays that is coming, if the sky is cloudy, but it is daytime, you still feel that there is a sun rays. So that sun rays is like a Brahman. It is everywhere. But this Brahman is coming from Bhagwan. It is just like the sun rays is coming from sun. Then you see the sun, but you're only seeing it externally. You might, observe it the whole day, every month, for a year, you'll make your own observation, and then you'll come to know about the science of sun. But even then you have realized you're seeing it, but you're seeing it externally. You realize it. You're one with it. But you have still not entered the sun planet. You don't know why the sun is so boiling hot. You don't know what temperature is there. You don't know how things are happening there. So you have not still entered there. But beyond the disk that you see on the sky every day, beyond the disk is a planet. And that planet has its own property. Who knows what is there? That planet which is hiding behind the disk also is like Bhagwan. So the sun rays are like Brahman. The sun disk that you see is like Parmatma. You are seeing it, you are experiencing it. But Bhagwan is beyond that. Bhagwan, because of Bhagwan, you are seeing the sun disk. Because of the planet, you are seeing the sun disk. And from there, you are experiencing the sun rays. So Bhagwan is all in all. So a person, a student of spiritual science, is that person who experiences all these three, who experiences the Brahman. Just write down the name Gaurav, okay, because she'll get confused. Three names: Brahman, Parmatma, and Bhagwan. Okay. So Brahman is like the super conscious energy. It is in the living entities as well as it is in the non-living entities. Paramatma is the super soul. It is residing in everyone's heart, every living being's heart. And Bhagwan is the supreme controller. He only appears. Bhagwan appears as Brahman and Bhagwan appears as Paramatma, but Bhagwan lives in everybody's heart as well as Bhagwan lives in his own Goloka Dham. So this is the understanding of spiritual science. Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan. Okay. We'll go ahead now, read again. So the impersonal Brahman is the shining rays of the, like the rays of the sunshine. Impersonal Brahman is the shining rays of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Impersonal Brahman is incomplete realization of the absolute whole. And so is also the conception of Paramatma. In the 15th chapter, it shall be seen that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Purushottam, is above impersonal Brahman and partial realization of Paramatma. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is called Satchidananda Vigraha. The statement is taken from Brahma Sutra, the Brahma Samhita. The Brahma Samhita says, it describes God. How does it say? It says, Ishvaraha Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. Who is God? In Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma says, Ishvaraha. He is supreme controller. Then he says, he is Param Krishna. He is Parameshwar and he is Krishna. So he is the supreme controller, ultimate supreme controller, and his name is Krishna. He has a form. What is the form? Satchidananda Vigraha. His form is eternal truth, eternal consciousness, eternal bliss. So this is his Satchidananda form. What else? He is Anadir. He is always existing. He is Adir. Adi means he is the first one. He is Govinda. His name is Govinda. Govinda means who gives pleasure to your senses, to your mind, to this earth, to this entire universe. So the one who gives pleasure to the earth, to this entire universe, and to every living being, that entity is called Govinda. And Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the reason for everything. Because of him, everything has appeared. So, Ishvaraha Param Krishnaha Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govindaha Sarva Karana Karanam. This is Bhagwan. This is Krishna. This is Govinda. This is how you describe him. Another thing of Bhagwan, I have described all the 6 qualities. Any person who has the 6 qualities, Shadaishwarya Yukta, he is Bhagwan. We discussed about that. All knowledge, all fame, all beauty, all strength. All fame, all strength, all beauty, all knowledge, all power. And with all of this, he is possessing renunciation. So that kind of person with all the 6 opulences is called Bhagwan. That was a simple definition. This is another definition. The one who is the supreme controller of everybody, he is Bhagwan. He is called Krishna. One who gives pleasure, joy to everyone, he is Govinda. He is the foremost. From him starts everything. He is the reason behind everything. He is Krishna. He is also known as Govinda. He is also known as Ishvara. His form is of Satchidananda Vigraha. Also, these are the definitions. Now let's go ahead. Govinda, Krishna is the cause of all causes. He is the primal cause, and he is the very form of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Impersonal Brahman realization is the realization of his Sat feature. Paramatma realization is in the heart. That is the realization of his Sat Chit feature. But the realization of personality of Godhead Krishna is the realization of all transcendental features. Sat Chit Anand, eternity, knowledge, and bliss. That is his complete form. People with less intelligence consider the supreme truth to be an impersonal, but he is a transcendental person, and this is confirmed in all Vedic literatures. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam, Katha Upanishad. As we are all individual living beings and have our individuality, the supreme absolute truth is also in the ultimate issue a person. And the realization of personality of Godhead is realization of all the transcendental features in his complete form. The complete whole is not formless. If he is formless, or if he is less than any other thing, then he cannot be the complete whole. The complete whole must have everything within our experience and beyond our experience. Otherwise, it cannot be complete. So here, Srila Prabhupada is giving us the knowledge. To understand God, we have to understand him in both aspects. Then you have realized the complete whole. Just saying, oh, Bhagwan is Brahman. Yes, you are right. But that is incomplete realization. Then somebody will come, Bhagwan is inside everybody's heart. Yes, you're right. That is complete. But still, the realization is not perfect. When you see God in both the living and the non-living entities and beyond, then that realization is perfect. But there is a shloka we say, Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadas Purnamidam Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. You have heard this slok many times. After doing the Havan, they'll say this slok. Om Purnamidam Purnam Om Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. What does it mean? From the whole, some whole is taken, but that some part is taken from the whole, some part is taken, but that part that is taken, that also is a whole, and the previous one is also whole, not too much of whole. What it means, it's like, I'll give you an example, like knowledge. I have knowledge. I'm giving you this knowledge, part of it. And part of the knowledge that I gave you, that knowledge is complete by itself. And the knowledge that I'm having, did my knowledge reduce if I give it to you? No. It remains as it is. So my knowledge is complete. Your knowledge is also complete. So Bhagwan is like that. Why does somebody who is into Brahman realization feel that this is complete? Because Bhagwan is complete and his part is Brahman. So Brahman appears as complete. So the person who has had the Brahman realization says, oh, this is complete. Then comes somebody else. No, you're not. You have to, this is complete. You have gone there. You have reached till that point. There is something more beyond that. Go to that point. So then if this person, wants to experience that, he'll be like, what is there? Tell me. You have experienced it. Show me. Then this person starts telling, oh, this is this, this is this. And then the other person wants to go there. And then he goes there and says, oh, wow. Thank God I came to this point now. Oh, this also looks complete. I thought Brahman realization was complete. No, Parmatma realization is also complete. Then somebody else comes. No, go further, go further. You will see Bhagwan has form. Do not just stop here. Bhagwan is formless. No. He has form. He can talk, he can walk, he can play with you. You have to develop yourself like that. Develop more. You've almost reached till there. Go, reach all the way till Golokadham. And there when you see God talking to you, playing with you, doing all these different leelas, then you realize, wow, this is beauty. This is true joy. I was thinking that was joy, but no, this is true joy. But that stage also was of joy. The in-between stage was also of joy. This stage is also of joy. Joy is like that. This much joy is also happiness. I mean, full. And that much joy. Who can say what is joy? Love. If you love people, your love never diminishes. And you have given love to somebody else. Love only multiplies. Joy only multiplies. So this is the experience in spiritual path. Every step, you feel you have arrived, but there is more, there is more. And when you reach the last point where you see Bhagwan is in a form. Bhagwan is having that eternal relation with you. You are an eternal soul. Bhagwan is eternal, Adir and Adir. You are also Adi and Adir. Bhagwan is Sachidanand Vigraha. You are also Sachidanand Vigraha. You see him in his dham. You see him as the same Krishna who appeared 5,000 years ago. He appeared 5,000 years ago. You waited to see him. Now he's showing himself to you. He will give you everything that you wanted. Then you have understood, oh, this was the final realization, Bhagwan realization. Till then, these arguments will go on. Oh, our path is right, our path is right. But when you understand it, when you experience it, then the arguments go away. Then there is no argument. And the person who has seen that will listen to this two people arguing, my path is right, my path is right. But the person who has seen will say, both are right. But both are little, you have to go all the way till the last. So do the journey till there. It's like Ramakrishna Paramahansa used to give example of 6 blind men and an elephant. So a tour guide takes 6 blind people to show them elephant. So all of them are touching. So one blind person goes, touches the stomach. Oh, he says, elephant? Elephant is like a wall, rough wall. The other blind man goes and touches the tail. Oh, no. Where is it like a wall? No. To me, it appears like a tail, with some fur in the end. The third blind man goes. He's a little shorter. So his hand reaches the legs of the elephant. He touches. He says, oh, no, 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 no. What tail? What rope? No. It's not like a rope. It's not like a wall. I think it's like a pillar. Maybe you touch the wall, probably. Yeah, it's like a pillar. The fourth one goes. He's a little taller. His hands reach all the way till the ears of the elephant. He says, no, 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 no. What you're saying is wrong. He's like a fan. The fifth one goes, touches the trunk. And he says, no, 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 no. What you're saying is wrong. No, no, no. It's like a pipe. It's a big cylindrical pipe. The sixth one goes, he touches two, three places together and he gets confused. He's like, no, sometimes it appears like pipe, sometimes it appears like a pillar, sometimes the fan. I don't know what it is. Then they all look at the tour guide and say, can you please tell us what it is? So the tour guide says, the elephant is everything what you described. But all of this combined together becomes an elephant. So the person who has eyes is able to see the elephant, but how will he describe in words what is an elephant to blind people? Only when they get their eyes, they'll be able to see what an elephant is. Partially, they are all right. They're all trying to understand the truth from their own way, whatever perception, conclusion they come to. But a person with the eyes can only see what an elephant is. Same way in spiritual path. The person who is awakened knows that Krishna has a form. And people who are arguing, some saying Advaita, some saying Dvaita, some saying formless, conscious energy, they're also right. But they have yet not reached the higher truth where Krishna has disclosed his form to them. And that is why they are arguing. The day Krishna discloses his form, and that happens only with pure love, nothing else. But all your arguments, discussions, they just, at one point they will all stop. There will be nothing. Heart is clean. You are at the highest level of peace. At that moment it happens. And no one can say when that is going to happen. I'm telling you, the cleansing of heart is very, 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 very important. Surrender is very, very important. And prayer, constantly praying. And God just makes it happen. Our gurus and our God, their mercy is the biggest. We only have to do 25%, rest they do it. 25% our hard work, 25% Guru's hard work, and 50% God's mercy. Done. Your job is done. So God is formless. That also is right. God is everywhere. That also is right. God is residing in everyone's heart as Parmatma. He is the super soul. That also is right. And God has a form. He lives in Goloka Dham. He incarnated in Vrindavan. That also is right. Living in this body, we can experience all these different three stages. That statement is also right. All of these statements are correct. But the one who experiences all the three stages, he has known it. Okay, he has known the absolute truth in completeness. All right. Now let's go to the next part. The complete whole, the personality of Godhead has immense potencies. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. How Krishna is acting in different potencies is also explained in Bhagavad Gita. This phenomenal world or material world in which we are placed is also complete in itself, because the 24 elements of which this material universe is a temporary manifestation, according to Sankhya philosophy, are completely adjusted to produce complete resources which are necessary for the maintenance and sustenance of this universe. When we go on reading the Bhagavad Gita, when we reach around chapter 13, God will talk about the elements. It's such a beautiful realization. This entire big earth, for us, earth itself is big. From your own country going to all the way to the earth, it's such a big thing. And it's phenomenal, every place. The topography, the vegetation, the people, the animals, the plants, flora, fauna, everything is phenomenal, different. You only keep wondering, wow. And then as you understand Gita, all this big phenomenal world is, he reduces only to 24 elements. And that also, in the 24 elements, will come down to 5 elements. You think, wow, from this 5 elements, this entire big world is created. Not only this world, it goes beyond. So from that big to 24 to 24 to 5. That science, he brings it. He reduces it to that level. So understanding that the entire world is made only of 24 elements, their ratio, their proportion is changed, and different things are happening. This is called Sankhya philosophy. What Sankhya means? Sankhya. Sankhya means numbers. Sankhya means logic. Sankhya means reasoning. So there is as I told you, rishis are researchers. So the rishis are always busy doing this research, discovering whatever is happening in nature. So whatever they researched, their research finally comes to what Bhagwan gave. As Kapil Muni, it is called as Sankhya philosophy. And later on, Kapil Muni came many, many years ago, millions of years ago. He gave Sankhya philosophy. That philosophy was, covered up. Buddha's philosophy, Lord Buddha's philosophy is very close to Sankhya philosophy. Only mistake was Buddha is considered, he disregarded Vedas, but his philosophy, science is science. Whether you say Veda or non-Veda doesn't matter. Science is science. Buddha went in a very scientific method. Same thing. Lord Krishna, he re-established 5,000 years ago. He said this science was existing, but it, because of time, it got lost. I'm telling the same thing again. So Krishna says the same Sankhya philosophy in just one chapter in the Gita. The beauty of Gita is this. All that big science comes in one chapter. If you understand this science, you understand everything. Science of elements, 24 elements, plus 1, God, 25 elements. All right. So there is nothing extraneous, nor is there anything needed. The manifestation has its own time, fixed by the energy of the Supreme Whole, and when its time is complete, those temporary manifestations will be annihilated by the complete arrangement of the complete. There is complete facility for the small complete units, namely the living entities. To realize the complete, and all sorts of incompleteness are experienced due to incomplete knowledge of the complete. So, Bhagavad Gita contains the complete knowledge of Vedic wisdom. When you read it, it is like a capsule. It is so surprising how he said this. And the more surprising to me is whenever I used to think, in 1 hour, just before the war, it is such a critical time. Sometimes, when time is very critical, you accomplish a lot. So I felt the same. Okay, there is war going to happen in 1 hour. And Arjuna is asking these questions. And Bhagwan is explaining philosophy of everything, including the elements. And whatever is explained, that is the basis of all other Vedas, all other books. You take up any book in Indian scriptures, the explanation will come from Gita. That is Bhagwan's beauty. This is the beauty of Gita. In capsule, he has given everything. And every topic Karma yoga, bhakti yoga, Sankhya yoga. Think of it, it is there. All Vedic knowledge is infallible. Now, that is the beauty of Veda. The knowledge does not change. It cannot change. It is science. It is law. Law of karma, law of nature, science. How can that change? The basic fundamental will remain infallible. So this is what it says. All Vedic knowledge is infallible, and Hindus accept Vedic knowledge to be complete and infallible. For example, a cow dung is the stool of an animal, and according to Smriti or Vedic injunction, if one touches the stool of an animal, he has to take a bath to purify himself. But in the Vedic scripture, cow dung is considered to be purifying agent. One might consider this to be contradictory, but it is accepted because it is Vedic injunction. And indeed, by accepting this, one will not commit a mistake. Subsequently, it has been proved by modern science that cow dung contains all antiseptic properties. So Vedic knowledge is complete because it is above all doubts and mistakes. And Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all Vedic knowledge. Vedic knowledge is not a question of research. Our research work is imperfect because we are researching things with imperfect senses. We have to accept the perfect knowledge which comes down as stated in Bhagavad Gita, a Parampra, a disciplic succession. We have to receive the knowledge from the proper source in disciplic succession, beginning with the supreme spiritual master, the Lord himself, who handed it down to a succession of spiritual masters. Arjuna, the student who took lessons from Lord Sri Krishna, accepts everything he says without contradicting him. One is not allowed to accept one portion of Bhagavad Gita and not another. We must accept Bhagavad Gita without interpretation, without deletion, without our own whimsical participation in the matter. The Gita should be taken as the most perfect representation of Vedic knowledge. Vedic knowledge is received from transcendental sources, and the first words are spoken by the Lord himself. The words spoken by the Lord are called Apaurashey, means a normal human being with imperfect sense is not speaking these words. It is God, the most perfect living being. He has spoken Gita. It is not an ordinary man's knowledge. It is Bhagwan's knowledge. He is a first person who gives knowledge even to Brahma. The same Bhagwan came and gave us Gita 5,000 years ago. You are listening from him directly, whom you are looking in books and Vedas and everywhere. He is speaking through this book. That is why this is so perfect. You will realize it when you finish it in chapter. You will know what I'm talking. The words spoken by the Lord are called Apaurashey, meaning that they are different from the words spoken by a person of the mundane world who is infected with 4 defects. A mundaner is sure to commit mistakes. Is invariably illusioned, has a tendency to cheat others, and is limited by imperfect senses. With these 4 imperfections, one cannot deliver perfect information of all pervading knowledge. So humans, when they, as I told you, there are many interpretations of Gita, and everybody will interpret Gita according to their understanding. So everybody's understanding is not perfect, it's imperfect. That is why we referred straight to Bhagwan. Many times people ask me questions, I try to give as much as possible from Bhagwan's words only. Because, I'm a human being finally. I'm trying to explain to you something. You're also a human being. My senses may be imperfect, your senses are also imperfect. So when we try to explain each other, that imperfectness may creep in. But when I take Bhagwan's word, and I know for every question there is Bhagwan is given an answer. So you will see all my explanation, from Gita, I'll try to pick up one shloka and share it. Okay, this is what Bhagwan said. This is what Bhagwan said. Listen to Bhagwan's word. You'll understand it directly. Apaurashey. So, and this has to be understood in a parampara, coming down in a proper parampara. If you do not understand in a parampara, it becomes very difficult to understand. This is a mystery of Gita. If you try to do it yourself, you will not understand the finer details. So a guru, a teacher is required. I learned the Gita in the parampara of ISKCON. My gurus were very kind on me. So I'm using that book and very easy for me to understand and explain. Other books are there, but very difficult to understand. They only confuse you. This is a very easy one. So I recommend this to everybody. Now let me see what Rares has written. This applies to today's situation too. Who knows what will happen with the world tomorrow? Yet we'll learn Sankhya, Karika from you through Bhagavad Gita. Yes, that is how it is. It goes the same way. Bhagwan gives it and Bhagwan makes the arrangement to give it through his parampara. We have to be always thankful to all our previous acharyas. I am always thankful to my acharyas in ISKCON who gave me the Gita. I'm always thankful to Srila Prabhupada who gave us the Gita. And when you look into the thing, there is a Acharya Parampara given in the book. Let me just read that Acharya Parampara here. One second. He has given it in the end of the book, I guess. Yep. So this Gita comes from Krishna. Disciplic succession has been given in the Gita book. Krishna, this is always the Acharya Parampara in everything. Understand this. Comes from Krishna, goes to Brahma, goes to Narad, goes to Vyas. From Vyas, the paramparas will be a little different. So here, their parampara is Madhvacharya. So it goes to Madhva, Padmanabha, Narhari, and so on, so on, so on, so on. It comes all the way to Lord Chaitanya, Ishwarpuri, Lord Chaitanya, Rupa, Raghunatha, Krishnadas, Narottam, all these names we are hearing in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then it came to Prabhupada, from Prabhupada to my teacher in ISKCON, Devamit Prabhu that time. He is now known as Bhakti Rasamrita Swami. And from there I learned, and then it went on. Okay, so this is the Gita Parampara. It has to be learned. When you read it with devotees, the feeling is different. You will understand the bhav completely. This system God has only made. What is the system? That comes in 10th, chapter 10th, the shloka. Time is up. Tomorrow's class, I'll take those shlokas in chapter 10th to explain why we have to sit together and read Bhagavad Gita, why God has made this system. All right. So with this, I think we will end up the class now. Tomorrow, new chapter and new stuff to understand. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the group or write it to me personally. All right. Jai Ma. Other sides, thank you so much. You're always welcome. Jai Ma.
Thank you, Ma.
Jai.
Thank you, Ma. Jai Ma.
Thank you, man.